Hello, dear viewers. You're welcome to yet another edition of News Hour on Royal Television. We are beaming live from Boya. For presentation, my name is Frida Leina. We open the news with our headlines today. The latest and most followed TV channel in Boya, Royal Television, has donated toilets to Mosque Fatima at Clark's quarters here in Boya. And the corpse of Anise Tekane, a high-profile politician in Cameroon, has been released to his family after over 3 months of the corpse in detention following his demise on December 1, 2025. And in foreign news, the Ministry of Urban Sanitation in Congo is working to develop a national sanitation policy in partnership with a couple of international institutions. Details of the stories and more in this newscast. I'll be right back. You're welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is News Hour and it's Royal Television. We beam live from Boya. As we told you in one of our top stories, the latest and most followed TV channel in Boya, Cameroon as a whole, Royal Television, has donated toilets to Mosque Fatima at Clark's quarters here in Boya. According to the Chief Executive Officer of Royal Television, Malam Alaji Bubasali, the initiative is aimed at building a conducive sanitation environment for the Muslim community at Clark's quarters, especially at this Ramadan period. Details of the story with Lima Truth Mojoko.
Royal TV team in partnership with Royal Cable Network has put smiles on the faces of Muslim faithful in the city of legendary hospitality through the construction of 4 modern toilets at Clark's Quarter Fatima Mosque. Seeing the modern toilet, Muslim faithfuls were amazed, hence they lauded the benefactors' initiative, emphasizing that the toilet placed at the disposal shall be of great use to them.
So I'm very happy about the toilet because you see, any last time if you people maybe sometime will come back side to come and person want to certify himself or toilet, so you come and meet more people there, so you stand. But alhamdulillah, now so we are very happy to go. And also we have now 6 toilets now backside. So we are happy to Royal TV that to have Royal TV just give you more toilet, 4 toilet now. We have now 6 toilet, so we are very happy. So now now that we know that now we no have problem now for toilet because now I don't know, now we are happy about the toilet.
Oui, en dehors de ça, sans l'endroit dont les toilettes, s'il n'y a pas les toilettes, les gens sont mal à l'aise. Puis, bon, depuis que le projet a commencé, c'était pas encore là, c'est ma première fois de venir ici. J'étais fier pour trouver les concessions ici.
نشكر رويال تي في هي خادمة جدا جدا إن شاء الله. في رمضان ليس لدي أي مشكلة، نحن في آمن وآمن إن شاء الله.
The benefactors, after the symbolic donation, appeals to the faithful to use the toilet judiciously by keeping it clean. Meanwhile, the Imam of Boya Central Mosque, Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, appreciates the initiative of the donor while praying to Allah to bless him and the company for their benevolence.
Lima Truth Mojoko ending that report. Still in religion, His Holiness Pope Leo will undertake an apostolic journey to Algeria, Cameroon, Angola and Anambra from the 13th to the 15th of April 2026. Yaoundé, Bamenda and Douala from the 15th to the 18th of April this year. An official announcement was sent out by the Apostolic Nuncio in Cameroon today, Wednesday, the 25th of February 2026. Sharon Tita tells us more in the following report.
In a significant move, Pope Leo XIV, the first U.S.-born pontiff, will undertake an 11-day apostolic journey to Africa, visiting Algeria, Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea from April 13 to 23, 2026. The trip marks his first pastoral visit to Africa as Pope and highlights his focus on the continent where the Catholic Church is experiencing rapid growth. The Pope's itinerary includes stops in Algiers, Annaba, Algeria, where he will trace the footsteps of St. Augustine, followed by his visits to Yaoundé, Bamenda, and Douala in Cameroon, emphasizing interfaith cooperation and welfare. He will then travel to Luanda and Angola, supporting local dioceses and clergy before concluding his journey in Malabo and Equatorial Guinea, promoting peace and national unity. As the former Pope Robert, Pope Leo XIV brings a wealth of experience as a missionary in Peru and a keen interest in African affairs to this historic trip. His visit underscores the Catholic Church's commitment to fostering dialogue, peace, and development in Africa.
Away from religion, we now talk culture. Preparations are underway in the town of Legendary Hospitality for the second edition of the Southwest Cultural Festival, with focus on peace, cultural revival, social cohesion, and investment opportunities. Sharon Tita zooms into the festival and tells us about the significance of such an event to a community like the Southwest region.
Buea, the vibrant capital of Cameroon's southwest region, is abuzz with excitement as the Southwest Cultural Festival gets underway. This 3-day extravaganza, organized by the Southwest Chiefs Conference, has brought together people from all 6 divisions of the region to celebrate the rich cultural heritage of the Southwest. Under the patronage of the Prime Minister Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dongute, the festival promises to be an unforgettable experience featuring conferences, musical performances, traditional dances, an exhibition showcasing local arts, food, and entrepreneurship. The event is a unique opportunity for the community to come together, preserve their culture, and promote social cohesion. The festival's theme, peace, cultural revival, social cohesion, and investment opportunities, reflects its goals of promoting unity, celebrating heritage, and driving economic growth. As the Southwest region's population gears up to make this a memorable celebration, the festival is said to be a testament to the region's resilience and creativity. The Southwest Cultural Festival is a must-attend event for anyone interested in experiencing the best of Cameroon's culture and hospitality. With its rich program and warm atmosphere, this festival is sure to leave a lasting impression on all who attend.
Sharon Tita ending that report. And Sharon, you're not going yet from one celebration to another ahead of the commemoration of the International Day of the Woman in Cameroon. Preparations are heating up. Southwest Regional Delegate of Women's Empowerment and the Family, Ediage Lucia, says the region is ready for the 41st edition of the International Women's Day. She says the day will be focused on rights, justice, and action. So says the theme. Sharon Tita tells us more.
Preparations are on the way for the celebration of the International Women's Day in Cameroon. The Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family has announced that preparatory meetings have been held to discuss activities planned for 8 March. Same with other regions, divisions, or subdivisions. In line with that, the Southwest Regional Delegate of Women's Empowerment and the Family, Ediage Lucia, says the Southwest region is ready for the celebration, highlighting the region's efforts in promoting women's rights.
Very, very ready, because we started the celebrations preparations since the 12th of February. That was our first meeting that we had with the governor after the 11th of February, and we had all stakeholders. An assignment was given to each and everyone who was there on the hall, partner ministries, and civil society organizations, all of them were there.
This year's theme aims to draw attention to rights, justice, and action for all women and girls globally.
We have been talking about the Women's Day for this year, especially because the theme of the year is rights, justice, and action for all women and girls. So most probably we are looking at the judiciary, the legal department, the activists, all those who are playing parts in bringing justice to the woman who has been tortured, who has been injured, who has been violated, who has been abused. And so this year we are going to really emphasize on how these survivors have to have peace of mind.
According to ministry data, 69 cases of femicide were recorded in 2024, a 23.2% increase from 2023. Activities planned for the celebration include sporting activities, marches, exhibitions, conferences, cultural performances, ecumenical service, and more. The government has also called on the population to join the celebrations and support women and girls in their fight for equality and justice. Ediage Lucia urges women to participate and make their voices heard.
The women should come out massively to come and express their gratitude to our own president, to our own leaders, to even their own husbands and even their own children by marching and, coming out with placards that carry information that is very, very educative on that day. And I want to let the women know that Women's Day is not about the fabric. We should keep the fabric away. The fabric is just like a symbol, it's an emblem to show that the Women's Day is around. So there's no woman will go and say that I cannot march because I don't have a fabric. There are many fabrics that we have been sewing. You can take even the one of 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you wear it.
On March 8th, women in Cameroon and the world look forward to commemorate their day in style and fanfare, colorfully dressed in the Women's Day fabric and their desired styles. International Women's Day is an important opportunity to celebrate women's achievements and highlighting the challenges that persist. We hope the activities planned for March 8th will contribute to promoting justice and equality for all women and girls in Cameroon.
The President of the Republic, His Excellency President Paul Biya and First Lady Chantal Biya have donated essential food items to vulnerable Christians and Muslims in Diamare in the far north region of the country. The donation comes to support these faithful during the holy period of Lent and Ramadan respectively. Natalie Njoma tells us more.
Items like rice, sugar, cooking oil, sardines, soap and buckets was shared to the faithfuls drawn from the Muslim and Christian communities in Diamare in the far north region of Cameroon. The donation comes to assist the beneficiaries' fasting periods of Lent and Ramadan ongoing, which is a period marked with constant prayers and fasting. The items was handed over by the governor of the far north region, Mijiyawa Bakari, on the instructions from the presidential couple, His Excellency Paul Biya and First Lady Chantal Biya. The Christians and Muslims in the Diamare received the donations with extreme gratitude to the presidential couple.
Nous remettons donc les dons du couple présidentiel pour les personnes vulnérables du département du Diamare pour leur permettre de débuter dans le jeûne du Ramadan et le carême dans de bonnes conditions. J'ai donc convié toutes les autorités administratives du département du Diamare, des sous-préfets sortants et leurs maires pour qu'ils viennent chercher ici. Et les sous-préfets de Marois vont procéder ici et maintenant à la distribution directe. C'est pour ça que vous voyez les populations, les bénéficiaires qui ont été identifiés, qui attendent donc à côté et qui vont rentrer chez elles, à casser le jeûne en fin de journée. C'est de ça qu'il s'agit.
The donation was handed over by the governor to the DO for Diamare, Jean-Marc Ekwabaga, who handed it over to the representatives of these communities with firm instructions to ensure their rigorous and equitable distribution to the targeted beneficiaries without distinction of community. Representatives of the Muslim and Christian communities were present at the handover ceremony to acknowledge the quantities of aid provided. They warmly commended the generosity of President Paul Biya and his wife, which they termed a sincere act of compassion that translates concretely into active solidarity and national unity. The religious leaders from the Christian and Muslim communities assured the head of state of their fervent prayers for Cameroon and for all its people during this holy period of Lent and Ramadan.
Dear viewers, let's revisit this story where dozens of secondary school teachers in Cameroon who have reportedly fallen bush but continue to receive salaries have been ordered to report to the Ministry of Secondary Education within 14 days or risk being struck off the state payroll. Minister Nalova Lyonga has ordered. Details of the story with Nanga Sonia.
The Ministry of Secondary Education has issued a 14-day ultimatum to dozens of secondary school teachers who reportedly abandoned their post, commonly referred to as falling bush, but continue to receive state salaries. The warning was delivered by the Minister of Secondary Education, Nalowa Lyonga, who stressed that any teacher who fails to report to the ministry within the given deadline will be removed from the government payroll. According to officials, the move is part of broader efforts to sanitize the public service and ensure that only active workers benefit from state funds. Authorities say the situation has deprived many schools, particularly in underdeserved areas, of qualified teachers while the government continues to pay absent staff. The ministry has called on concerned teachers to regularize their status immediately, warning that failure to comply will lead to administrative sanctions. Education stakeholders say the decision is expected to improve accountability and strengthen discipline within the sector. For many parents and students, the crackdown signals renewed efforts to address teachers' shortages and restore confidence in the country's education system.
And on to this developing story, the dethroned Fon Chafa Isaac of Bangolan braces up for a triumphal entry back to Bangolan after 10 years of absence on the throne. He was dethroned recently by the Ngomba Traditional Council amidst threats from the government. During his re-entry, he was seen on the social media announcing his comeback. Details of this developing story with Mwambo William.
The traditional ruler of Bangolan, Fon Chafa Isaac the 11th, who was recently dethroned by the Ngomba House, the local traditional council, amidst allegation of abandoning the village for over a decade and destroying sacred ancestral objects. The Ngomba claims the Fon's actions were a betrayal of his duties and have begun a 7-week cleansing process to select a new leader. However, Fon Chafa Isaac the 11th has vowed to return to his village, promising to reclaim his position. Images circulating on social media appear to show the dethroned Fon making his declarations.
Has committed so many sins against me, but I've forgiven them time and again. No, not here. For those of you who believe that God exists, you think that when I say in public every day that forgive me, you say you will not forgive. You think that God is not registering. When he registers, it reaches a certain level. He now knows your heart, that you are forgiven. He takes over the fight, and he'll fight for you. So, I'm telling the world, they say, let me tell you, I've not been going to Bangola, not because I'm afraid, because they are posting that they have made medicine that I cannot enter Bangola. You people should be prepared. It's not too long from now. You'll see me in Bangola.
Worth of note is that the senior divisional officer SDO of Ngeketunja, Hadesin Keton Konge, had declared the dethronement null and void, stating that a traditional ruler recognized by the state is enthroned for life. The administration had warned that anyone collaborating with the dissident faction will face prosecution. This problem has sparked serious power struggle with the Ngumba Traditional Council on one hand and the divisional officers' government on the other. With the Fon's vow to return to possess his throne adds fuel on the fire. The clash highlights the complicity of traditional leadership in modern Cameroon. The big question is, will Fon Chafa Isaac the 11th regain his throne, or will a new leader emerge? As it is said, when two elephants fight, the grasses suffer. So then, as traditional authorities versus state power in cross views concerning the matter, the people of Bangolan are caught in the middle. So what is like to happen next? The future holds the answer.
And on to this story, and as we told you in one of our top stories, the detained corpse of Anicet Ekane has been released. Anicet Ekane, a high-profile politician in Cameroon, died amidst unclear circumstances on the 1st of December 2025 while in detention. His corpse was released recently after close to 3 months in the mortuary. Federal arrangements are ongoing to give him a befitting burial. Mwambo William tells us more in the following report.
The body of Cameroon's opposition leader, Anicet Ekane, has been released to his family after being held at the Yaoundé Central Hospital mortuary for nearly 3 months. The autopsy results made public by the Ministry of Defense on February 24, 2026 concludes that Anicet Ekane died of natural causes while in detention on December 1, 2025, that he didn't die of any external violence. The autopsy that was initially scheduled for December 2nd, 2025 was postponed to December 3rd, 2025 at the family request. After rejecting and doubting the integrity of the autopsy procedure, the family then requested to have their own medical experts present. However, the family ultimately boycotted the procedure, citing concerns about transparency and the government involvement. Worth of note is that the Ekane's family and lawyers had expressed concerns about his deteriorating health and alleged denial of proper medical care while in detention. Anicet Ekane, a prominent Cameroonian political and opposition leader, was born on the 17th of April 1951. He studied law and became a magistrate before entering politics. Anicet Ekane was a founding member of the Social Democratic Front SDF party and served as its first national vice chairman. He later left SDF and became a key figure in Cameroon opposition movement, supporting various candidates against President Paul Biya. He is said to also be the founder of the Manidem party. He was arrested on October 24, 2025 in Douala for supporting Issa Chiruma Bakari's presidential bid and was later charged with insurrection and rebellion against the state. Funeral arrangements are said to be ongoing to give Anicet Ekane a befitting burial.
You're listening to News Hour on Royal Television in Buea. We now take you out of the country where the Ministry of Urban Sanitation in Congo is working to develop a national sanitation policy in partnership with a couple of international institutions such as the African Development Bank and United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. Planned over a 10-year period, this policy is intended to mark a significant turning point in Congo as far as waste management and access to decent sanitation infrastructure is concerned. Honorin Cheng takes us to Congo.
Sanitation and waste management efforts are struggling to gain steam 4 months after Turkish company Al Bayrak began operations in Congo. The operations that began in the cities of Brazzaville and Pointe-Noire are still fighting to mark visible results. In both cities, the pavements remained littered with rubbish. In a bid to counter this trend and raise public awareness of more responsible behavior, the Ministry of Urban Sanitation is working to develop a national sanitation policy in partnership with a host of international institutions. Besides reducing sanitation-related diseases and protecting the environment against climate challenges, the promotion of a circular economy is in the pipeline as green, eco-friendly jobs are anticipated. To support this scheme, UNICEF and the African Development Bank are principal sponsors. Planned over a 10-year period, this policy marks a major turning point in waste management and access to decent sanitation infrastructure. Above all, it symbolizes a new ambition, which is a cleaner, greener, and healthier Congo.
Many thanks, Honorin Cheng. We now talk sports on this newscast, where in the corridors of the 31st edition of the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope stood the crowd who came out in their numbers to cheer up the over 600 athletes as they challenged the chariots of the gods. From clap of hands to shouting to the top of their voices stood the 12th man players of the athletes who motivated them until the finish line. Guni Sonita has the details.
Just as every year, the population always answers presents, from the Moliko Mill Sports Stadium stands to the various strategic points like the Bunduma Gate, Bongo Square, Governor's Runabout, and Upper Farms. From cheering the athletes from their starting point to running sometimes alongside with the athletes, the loud claps of hands, dancing steps has never gone unnoticed. It is important to note that their loud chants always create waves of celebrations as onlookers are held spellbound, imagining the energy and motivation these athletes can possess while reaching their final destinations.
Dear viewers, we end News Hour here today. But before we leave you, let's check our top stories. We told you that the latest and most followed channel in Buea, Cameroon as a whole, Royal Television, has donated toilets to Mosque Fatima at Clark's quarters here in Buea. And the corpse of Anise Jane, a high-profile politician in Cameroon, has been released to his family after over 3 months following his demise on December 1, 2025. And in foreign news, the Ministry of Urban Sanitation in Congo is working to develop a national sanitation policy in partnership with a couple of international institutions. Those were the stories.